Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our entitled people. In today's episode, guy doesn't buy a movie ticket, gets pissed when the movie doesn't play. Entitled boss thought she would rip me off. The un-knee pretends to be knee. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Guy doesn't buy a movie ticket, gets pissed when the movie doesn't play. Many years ago, I worked at a movie theater. I was working box office, and a guy comes in with his kid and walks right past me to the concession stand, buys some snacks, and proceeds into a theater. At this theater, we turned off the screens if no one bought tickets for the movie. Dude comes back out after the movie was supposed to have started, complaining that it's not playing. A manager asks to see his ticket, and when he doesn't produce it, refuses to turn the screen on. The dude stormed out of the theater with his kid, flipping us off on the way out, got in his car, drove up to the building, and chucked his drink at it. So not only did he make a fool of himself, he wasted a $5 soda. And in front of his young kid. Dumbass did it backwards. You buy the tickets, and you bring your own snacks. Duh. I sneak in candy but always buy popcorn and soda at the theater. They pretty much make nothing on ticket sales. Their operating costs are subsidized almost entirely at the concession stand. It would have been even funnier if they just kept playing previews and advertisements, and never started the actual movie. He obviously did this regularly, and this was the first time the movie didn't sell a single ticket. Entitled boss thought she would rip me off. This happened several years ago, when I picked up a part-time job working at the mall. I had started working at a kiosk in the mall selling t-shirts, ball caps, golf balls, etc. They had a catchphrase that read, "Shut up," and varied from sport to sport. They sold well, but the owner-manager/boss had a personality of a nut bar. I worked the late shift until the mall closed, Monday through Friday. I showed up one afternoon for my shift and the boss woman was there, and I proceeded to put on my smock and get ready to take over, when she told me that she did not need me that day. No notice, no nothing. I asked her when I should come back in, and she said that she was unsure. It happened to be payday, so I asked for my check, and she said she did not have it done up yet, but it would be ready the next day. So, I left and came back the next afternoon to collect the paycheck. She still did not have it ready, and I would have to come back again. This was not sitting well with me, so I went to the police in the mall and asked them what to do. The police did not have a lot to say, but said management at the mall might shut them down if they don't pay. I checked with mall management and they told me that I should see Revenue Canada. So I phoned Revenue Canada, made an appointment and went in a few days later. Revenue Canada was very helpful. I explained the whole thing to them, told them which mall this was at, and they made phone calls to the mall. Mall management cooperated, gave the name of the business, name of the owners, bank information, and everything. They went into the bank info and froze the account, and then we all drove to the mall. They came and shut the business down, took all the inventory, and spoke to the owner. She handed me a check, and I showed it to the Revenue Canada agents. They took it and photocopied it. She had apparently deducted so much money for 2 weeks of work, all in income tax. The revenue agents set up another appointment with me for the next week at their office. They took the income tax overture I paid, and made sure it was turned into a credit, so I would not have to pay more. Then they told me they are auditing them for 7 years, which effectively bankrupted them. It made my day, and many mall workers were smiling when they found out. It was definitely AF***CK around find out moment. Well done, OP. You probably saved the next employee a good deal of trouble. People need to learn that people who work for them deserve respect and their pay. I got my first job at 15 at a grocery store being a cashier. They told me people under 16 are only allowed to get paid $4.25 an hour, minimum wage was $7.25, and they continued to pay me that the entire time I worked there, even after I turned 16, and kept reminding them. This is illegal and I didn't know. My dad was wealthy and just wanted me to have a job for experience, plus he loved that store, so he told me not to make a fuss over it. They're closed down now. Ah. The good ol' F around and find out revenge. How satisfying. The un-knee pretends to be knee. Just flew back home to Costa Rica from the USA. Every time I fly I witness Karens and Kevins in the wild on the hoof. This was the weirdest one I have experienced truly, even if the rest of travel was pretty painless and smooth. When I arrived at the first airport, the agent that checked my bags in gently reminded me to meet her at the gate and she would gate tag my rolling walker. I used the walker to navigate the airport post-stroke and losing all balance without being toted around the airports on wheelchairs. Riding the wheelchairs is filled with its own problems and challenges. The walker gave me freedom back. Get to the gate and that gate agent was busy, so the other agent tagged my walker. He came over a few minutes later fussing at me that I was not on his handicapped traveler list. Told him I didn't sign up as handicapped when I bought the ticket because I could navigate without help. Get to the airport where I have to change flights, Miami International, and come off the plane to find my walker waiting on the jetway like it is supposed to be. There's also a wheelchair with a lady holding aloft a tablet with my name on it. Told her it was me, but no, I didn't need a wheelchair and I didn't order it. She kept murmuring she wanted me to get into the wheelchair. I said no thanks, walked away, figuring that the officious gate agent annoyed I wasn't listed as handicapped must have ordered the chair. We were only 2 gates away from our next flight, so the husband and I visited the restroom before heading towards that next flight. As I'm stepping forward out of the restroom, I see the same lady who'd been pushing the wheelchair was now holding the tablet aloft with my name and calling it out to board the courtesy vehicle. Before I can say a word, a lady I saw on my previous flight who was not handicapped came forward and yelled "That's me," and got on the ride. I ran forward to tell the employee and the fake me that she's not me, she's not handicapped. I asked the employee to ask for her boarding pass. I have a boarding pass, passport and driver's license proving who I am, and I know she cannot prove she's me. The employee tells me she does not give a frog's fat ass, her words, who it is because she was told to get that person in the vehicle. The faker says, no, she really is the salty Suzanne. I was left staring. And I would not have ridden in that thing, which was what I was coming forward to say. Oh my gosh, surely you can report the worker, and wasn't what that lady did classed as ID theft? I sent a nice email to the airline asking them to get their vendor to possibly train their people. Bizarre. Even more bizarre is inside a secure terminal an airline employee knowingly allows someone on her transport that is fraudulently claiming to be someone else. Wow. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.